Did Chicago fuck up already? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, motherfuckers, to you and to me. That's right, I'm here again. You can't get rid of me. Somebody fucking tried. Don't know who, but I'm coming for you.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to the Fucked Up Podcast. In case you forgot, my name's D-Bag. I'm one of the hosts of the show. I'm joined today just by one friend, who we call Chris mostly.
I seem to be the consistently healthy one, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris is the only one without fucking issues. Well,
Oh, I have issues. I just, I'm
just
kind
not of like the health variety, I guess,
and I'm
at the moment.
kind of like the producer, so
Yeah,
it
true.
makes life easy when I'm here.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, unfortunately, our other beautiful co-host Danger is out this week, so it's just the two of us.
One
So you
day
got back-to-back doubles episodes.
we'll all get together again one day. I promise
Yeah.
it will happen.
We also want it to happen, to be clear.
Because I
It
mean,
just wasn't the week.
if you think about like even today, you guys didn't even do Double D Estrogen Power Hour. It's been like a
No.
month since you guys have been able
It's
to
been
get together.
forever. I know. I miss my friends.
It's been a
I miss them
weird
so bad.
weird couple of months for
Oh my
all
god.
of us at LTN Media.
It's been rough, let me tell you.
Oh my
But
God.
we're back. We're better than ever. I'm not gonna be there because that would make it real. So with that, why don't we jump right into our first topic of the evening?
Whatever the show
for
is
this
gonna be.
podcast. Yeah, to whatever the fuck this is. So the first topic tonight is actually right now, at this very moment, something historic is happening. The Hughes brothers are set to become the 9th family in NHL history to have 3 siblings suit up in a game. So that's something that very clearly hasn't happened a lot. 9 is not a big number.
No, 9, and considering
Not
the
really.
amount of time the NHL's existed, 9 is a
Yeah.
very, very small number.
Absolutely. So we have the oldest brother, Quinn Hughes, who is the captain of the Vancouver Canucks. And they are playing host to the New Jersey Devils, who have Jack and Luke Hughes playing there. So they are there currently at this very minute. Love that for them.
Right.
So some quotes leading into this, because obviously we don't know the outcome of the game just yet. Maybe by the end of the podcast we will. We're not expecting a Kachuk brothers type incident.
No,
I don't
that's
think we're gonna get that
reserved
kind of energy
strictly for them.
for the Kachucks, yeah. This is gonna be a much calmer affair. So Quinn Hughes said, it's very rare for brothers to be in the NHL together, but then obviously to have success is another thing. So it's pretty cool for all 3 of us, and I'm sure my parents and family as well. In addition, like all of the brothers obviously have been interviewed about it. Luke also said it's something we've dreamt of to one day play on the same team. Hopefully we get to do that. But I don't know if you really dream about playing against them. But over the last couple of years, knowing me and Jack we're going to be on the same team is pretty cool. And knowing we get to do this and play against him is pretty cool.
That is pretty
Some
cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Some stats. Other brothers to have played each other are the Bouchers, Bobby Boucher.
Bobby?
Not that. But their first season in 1921/22, and their last season in 23/24. The Cooks brothers, first in 1931-32, last in 1934-35. The Bentleys in 1942-43 season. The Plagers in 1967-68 season and 1975-76 season. Well, I guess they played each other between those seasons.
Right.
The Stastnys, first time in 1981-82, last time being in 1985-86. The Suitors, first in 1981-82, last in 93-94. The Brotons, first in only in 1989-1990, and the Stalls in 2012-2013, and the most recently in 2022-2023. So a few things that they've said, it's just really cute. Jack said that Quinn always believed in me and always thought I'd be special, and I'm lucky to have such a good
Aw.
older brother, and I just love when, like, family says that about each other, you know what I mean? For one
Yeah.
kid to get into the NHL, it's really hard. So for three in one family to be playing in one game tonight, it's really special and just really exciting. I think we should have a lot of fun. This is the first of many, but it's just a really special night. Heading into the game, and Quinn shares NHL lead in points among defensemen with 34. Jack leads the Devils in assists with 21 and points with 30. And Luke tops rookie blue liners in scoring with 14, which again, just crazy. Quinn Hughes also said that unlike the Kachuk family, where brothers Matthew and Brady promised their mom they would never fight each other, nothing similar was needed from them. He said she didn't need to ask me for that kind of a promise, which is like, oh,
That's
cute.
adorable. Well,
Yeah,
I can tell
I
you
like
right
that.
now that one of the Hughes brothers is on the board. As of time
Let's
recording right
go.
now, Devils are up 2-1. Jack Hughes
Hell
has an
yeah.
assist.
Jack Hughes.
Jack
That's
Hughes.
awesome. Great for him.
um,
I'm really happy for them. I think that they are a lot of fun. I've loved watching Jack and Luke get to play together in New Jersey. I think that's really cool. So it's fun that they get to play against their older brother.
well,
And that kind of seems like the natural
yeah.
thing, you know what I mean? The younger brothers team up against the older
Well,
brothers
and
seems
that
right.
makes for you and I at least like that reminds us well of the Stahl brothers because you had
Yeah.
all three couple times a couple played together and it was like
Mhm.
yeah they pushed each other and they were physical and they like played each other hard but at the same time you knew that there was that love and respect for each other whereas when you
Yeah.
watch Matthew and Brady go out and just fucking go at each other like
Mhm.
obviously you know that it's all love and stuff there as well but like it's a very different
It's a
like play
different
style
vibe.
and dynamic, you
Yeah.
know. The Kachuk brothers have the unfortunate disadvantage of having to live up in the shadow of their father, who was also a very well-known physical
Yeah.
player,
Right.
whereas the Hughes brothers don't have that.
Mhm.
And Jack and Quinn have both been shining examples of rising
Yeah.
stars in this league for a couple years now.
Absolutely.
Um, So yeah, this is super exciting. I'm
Yeah.
bummed I don't have the NHL Network because I would love to watch this game. Um, but
Yeah.
you know, c'est la vie.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Also one other thing that I'll mention that they brought up is they said Luke said, "I definitely didn't expect like something like this to happen when we were kids, but it's really cool. That's the dedication shown by our parents. How
yeah,
hard they worked and how hard the three of us worked too." So I like that they gave a shout out to their parents. I always love that.
that is cool.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean Jack Jack is in top 10 in in assists right
Yeah.
now. He's I believed he is not top 10. Oh no, he is. He's top 10. So is Quinn. Both
Mhm.
top 10 in points right now. Quinn has
Yep.
34 and Jack has 31. So obviously
And
Luke
Luke
is
is
the youngest, but
but he's still leading rookie defenseman
he
with
is.
14 points.
Um,
So
which
so
is
I guess
not
he's
he's
technically second amongst all first year
second
players.
amongst all rookies in general.
Yep.
Second amongst all defensive players, only behind Cale
Mhm.
McCarr. The only person
Checks
who
out.
has more points as a rookie than him currently is Connor Bernard. But I mean, surprised?
Right. They play very different positions, so Connor should, in
Yeah, I
theory,
would
have more
hope Connor
points.
Bedard has more.
Yeah. That's how that's supposed to work, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have had an explosive start to the season, which actually kinda leads us into our next topic as someone who has not had as explosive a start as we thought he would. You wanna cover that one, Chris?
Yeah, Connor McDavid, last year's Hart Trophy winner. The dude had one of the most
Mhm.
otherworldly seasons I've ever seen personally, and I've gotten to witness countless greats throughout the last 30 years play. Um,
Yeah.
153 points last year in 82 games. That is fucking crazy.
Right.
Um, that I'm pretty sure that put him 11th all time, and there's only like 9 players ahead of him. If no, not even. There's only like 4 or 5 players ahead of them, and they're all Hall of Famers.
Mhm.
Um, 20 games, 8 goals, 21 assists. This season, he is not even top 10 in
No.
any category. Um, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, he's got a plus minus of -4.
Ooh.
That's That's crazy considering the last 3 years he has not finished the season without a plus minus lower than plus 20.
Yeah, which is, I mean, we are still relatively early in the season. It is only December after all, but still, that's a
Right. Yeah.
significant drop for
Well,
a
we're also
player
a quarter
of
of
his
the way
talent.
through the season. Um which
Yeah,
is it's crazy to think about. Um
right,
because again, and we've been talking about for the past few weeks now about,
right.
oh, I guess no, even since the beginning of the season, and on just what the hell is happening in Edmonton this season. Um,
Mhm.
so I don't I don't think any of this is contributing from his lack of talent or anything. We all know
No.
there is no fucking question like that. Connor McDavid is the best player in the world. Uh,
I wouldn't say the best player in the world.
he's best
He's
player
up
in the
there.
world. Current
I wouldn't say that.
active player, he's the best player in the world.
We'll see.
I can't say Ovechkin because he's like,
I wouldn't say Ovechkin either,
yeah.
so
Who would you say?
but
Who?
I'm not gonna give anyone a best title right now.
As I choke on water.
Yeah.
God damn. But like a lot of this is very much so like a contributing factor to a lot of this is in general how poorly the Edmonton Oilers are doing. Um, and I'm pretty sure that we'll see Connor bounce back and have a great season. I wouldn't be shocked if he hits
I
100
hope so.
points. I just
But
it's
what do we think this is? Like, do we think this is attributable to something larger within the team that's happening? Um, or does he just have, like, a case of the whatever the NHL version of the yips are,
yeah,
like in baseball? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what is it, do we think?
I I I don't know because this is a team that last year went off. I mean, you look, they had 4 players last year with over 100 points on the season.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Um, and then just such a complete collapse into the playoffs with your star players not even doing anything.
Mhm.
Um, obviously they've made a change to their goaltending staff by, you know, putting Jack Campbell on waivers and really
Right.
heavily relying on Stuart Skinner, which Skinner's a beast in the net. He showed that last year. I, I don't know. Like I genuinely
But
wish I had an answer.
Draisaitl isn't as affected, you know? So if it is
Yeah.
something within the coaching, or within the organization, then it's something that's not affecting all players equally, right? It
Yeah.
seems to just be hitting Connor. And so is it that he's unhappy with some element? Did something get in his head? Like I know, for example, Anthony Mantha started seeing a sports therapist because he was just unable to produce on ice for a while because he had this is largely speculation, but the coaching that he ran into in Washington didn't sit well with him, and I think caused a further block that was already a Bruin, so to speak.
Yeah.
So are we seeing something similar in Connor, where he is carrying too much of the weight of the world on his shoulders? Because we've talked about it before, like he is. I mean, him and Dreisaitl were doing the most for that team and still couldn't pull it through. So is it the weight of expectation that's been on him to produce and produce and produce and produce, and yet is still not coming up with a cup? Has that
Well,
just reached a boiling point, do we think?
I mean, here's a better question: is when has he not had all spotlights on him his entire career? Like, name me a time in his
That's what I'm
career,
saying.
college or not really college, but juniors,
Yeah,
internationally. He's the face of a country. Like
right.
all eyes, and this is what it's like to be a Canadian superstar. Before him, it was all about Crosby, and before Crosby, it was all about Gretzky and Lemieux, and like now
But
you're
what is
seeing
the toll of that?
it's uh, you have all of this pressure to be the guy, and a
Mhm.
lot of this is also attributing to his time in Edmonton. Granted, he has such great, line mates with Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They're obviously, we know how good both of those players are as well, but
Right.
it seems like no matter what, it's always about what can Connor McDavid do for this team.
Right.
And that very much so has to weigh on you at some point. And I can't imagine that all of these rumors about trades are false.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that there's not a thought in his head that's saying, "Oh yeah, no, I'll stay and ride this out," because how long has he been in the league, and how
Mhm.
many times has he seen the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah.
He hasn't.
That's exactly my point. Like, speaking of Connors, do we think that this is a similar fate for Connor Bedard? I mean, again, he's in an organization not unlike the Edmonton organization, where there's a lot of pressure on both Connors to save them, to
What?
be what
Yeah,
propels them into cup and potentially, I mean, cups,
yeah.
multiple, like that we've seen Sid do in Pennsylvania. So
I
is this something that, like, the pressure was too much because he didn't have enough of a support either? Like, again, he has Draisaitl, right?
yeah.
And that's amazing.
They
But
have
is he
talent
missing
on the team.
they
It's
have
not that they
talent, but
don't. They very much so.
are they missing coaching? Are they missing a goalie element? Are they missing something that obviously has prevented them from going all the way? And is that, so, like, drastically different, again, from what we've seen in Pittsburgh,
Um,
that it's enough to really to bear down and to create problems?
w- well,
I would say yes. My
I
philosophy is
would,
yes.
yes, I can agree with that. A lot of the problem with Edmonton has been the same problem they've had for the past like 3 years. It's lack of production in the depth positions. Your third
Yeah,
lines, your fourth lines, your second line D team, like they have the talent on that team. Like if you go through that
yeah.
roster,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the Edmonton Oilers are a great team. But there just
on
seems to
paper.
be, yeah, on paper, they should have won the cup 3 of the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Um but I think a lot of it has to do with lack of production in the depth lines. And that's so important because you saw what happened last season in the playoffs where your top line wasn't producing anything. Well, your second, third, and fourth lines had to step up big time. The,
yeah,
if they're able to get that playoff output and the regular season output and put it together while also having a very consistent goaltending tandem, I think that's when you see the pieces come together, and I think that's when you see that team take
yeah,
massive leaps
and which
forward. But
I agree, but I'm thinking that if I'm Connor McDavid and all I'm hearing is that how I'm the next Crosby, I'm the next Ovechkin, I'm the next
yeah,
Gretzky, I'm the next Lemieux, right?
yeah,
And I'm putting out, point after point after point, goal and assist here and there. I'm winning fucking, like, all these awards, all the
yeah,
awards he's won over the last several years, and it's still not enough. And then I get into, like, the first playoff match last year where it's like, "Okay, they're really gonna do something. Edmonton's gonna take it this year." And somehow they start being unable to
then
connect.
they
They
get
can't get in the
shit
back of the
walked
net.
through the playoffs. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I think that would do some mental damage
oh,
to
of
me.
course,
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I think that, um the narrative that I have to read about myself online and, through all kinds of media, I think that that would be tough. I really do.
well, and
And so
think
that's why
about
I'm
how
already
he feels
preemptively
knowing
concerned for
that the guy
Bedard.
drafted after him already has a fucking Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
Jack Eichel won one. He won his
yeah,
last year. That's got to be another tick in, another tick on the chart of.
yep.
And
But that's what
it's,
I
yeah.
like, that's what I mean when I talk about I feel so deeply for Bedard because of the organization he's starting in.
Yeah,
He's coming in as an incredible talent,
yeah,
and he's going to an organization that's worse off
yeah.
than the Edmonton
Well, and
Oilers,
I
and
mean,
he's gonna be expected at 18
yeah,
to do what Connor McDavid is doing right
right,
now.
right. The same thing that Colorado is expecting from Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon. And the worst part about
But I don't
playing
think
in
it's as bold.
Edmonton as Connor McDavid, who else played for the Edmonton Oilers? Who's the one player that Connor McDavid gets compared
Yeah.
to as the next coming up? all the time.
Right.
Do you know how
Yeah.
hard it is to try to live up to the fucking moniker of the next Wayne Gretzky?
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to be the savior of this franchise and bring it back to the glory that they once had through the 80s. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, that's really hard to do in this league now. Like, it's a totally different league than it was in the 80s.
It is.
Very, very different.
It's
There's
just
not a team out there that can't win on any given
yeah.
night. Even the Sharks, even
The
the
fucking
Coyotes.
Coyotes. I mean, this
um
is just my point in general with a lot of this is I think that as fans, as commentators, I think we need to be careful with the way that we're talking about these players, especially younger players, right?
yeah.
Because again, people like Bedard, people like Makar, people like McDavid, we're putting so much at their fucking feet. They're having to carry so much, and we keep telling them, "You're responsible for your franchise
yeah.
and for the future of hockey."
Yeah.
They're being asked to draw new generations of viewers in, and I like, it's a lot, and
Yeah.
recently, Ovechkin said something about it too, about how that was placed basically at his and Sidney Crosby's feet, and
I
they're like,
don't
"And we
think
never even
we've
got to
learned
thank you."
I don't think we've learned from that. I don't.
Yeah. I don't think we have either, and I think that that was his point when he brought it up. He was like, "We saved the NHL
I was just
after
about to
the
bring that up.
lockout,
I saw that, and
and
that was
they
such a
didn't
great
thank us."
quote. He's like, "We saved this league."
Yeah.
You don't, people could say what they want. He goes, "But Crosby and I saved this league." And
Yeah.
I don't and I think we haven't learned from that because
Mhm.
you, as much as anyone, should know about what pressure was put on Ovi because you're a Caps fan. Like,
Right.
growing up watching him play, obviously we were young when they both got drafted. But
Yeah.
like, under you understand, and like with my dad being a Penguins fan, like we
You get it,
both
yeah.
can understand on a different level because we saw this firsthand.
Mhm.
And I think it's a very unfair comparison with a lot of things because, or at least Pittsburgh wise, because Crosby in itself, we all know his talent. But what helped Pittsburgh is the fact that they drafted so many young studs.
Yeah.
Then look at the names that have come out of there. You've got obviously Crosby, Chris Letang, Evgeny Malkin,
Yep.
shit, Marc Andre Fleury. Like,
Yeah.
all of these crazy young guns that they drafted to bring in that just melded together and made this beautiful thing that we've gotten the pleasure of watching the last 20
They
years.
also had an incredible coaching staff that
Yeah.
guided them to how many cups
They won
since?
3.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing is that Pittsburgh, got Crosby, right? They
Yeah.
did whatever they needed to do to win the lottery magic to fucking get Crosby,
Well, they
right?
were so terrible when like
Yeah,
that year before. They were bad.
and sometimes it works out when all the stars fucking align, you're able
Yeah.
to trade, you're able to do this, you're able to do that, you get your young talent in, you get a coach that supports them,
Look at
that
Tampa.
creates a system that's good for them, and then everybody flourishes,
Yeah.
right? But then we see other organizations where they haven't figured out that formula. Chicago, big example.
In the last few
E
years,
Edmonton,
absolutely. Very
big
yeah.
example. They're unable to get all the way,
Arizona
and
is
yet
a
you still
great
have these
example of a team that's been at the
yeah,
basement for a long time
mhm,
because they just can't seem to make it work. And I
yeah,
think that's an important thing to understand as fans is sometimes magic does happen.
right.
Sometimes look at the Colorado Avalanche. Like, look how good that team is? That doesn't happen all the time.
Well, I mean
You don't get lucky enough to draft Landeskog and Mikko
yeah,
Rantanen and Connor Cale Makar and
but,
Nathan
like
McKinnon. Like, you don't get to just draft those players and it just
yeah,
happens. Like, it there's some luck to it.
there is.
And
But there's also, like I mean, the Caps drafted Ovi, got him. He was, an incredible talent first in his draft pool, and then we continued to suck
yeah, for
for
a good amount
years.
of time, yeah.
We couldn't get out of the playoffs, especially when we were playing against Pittsburgh. We fell to them many a times.
Yeah.
We did beat them too, so it's not like we always won them, but anyway.
No, but most of the
Um,
time they came out on the
but
better
like a lot
end,
of them,
yeah.
yeah. So, like, for years and years and years, and then in 2018, we finally got our cup, but all that to say, like, That took how long? Ovi was with the Washington Capitals for 14 years
Yeah.
by the time he got a cup?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
he was
mean, is
towards
that what
the
we're
end
looking
of
at in
his
Edmonton?
career.
Yeah.
I don't think McDavid stays that long though.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a reason for him to
Ovi's an odd
stay.
one for staying in Washington for as long as he has,
No,
for being as talented as he's been without
he could
seeing the
have,
rewards
yeah,
of
he
it.
could have easily left and gone
He coulda left at any
somewhere
point.
else and probably won a
Yeah.
cup earlier. But I feel like that was a loyalty thing for him, and that was
It's a loyalty
important to
thing for
him
him.
to be loyal, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, even look at the Lightning. Um,
Mhm.
Lightning, no pun intended, struck for them. And
Twice,
yeah, twice,
unfortunately.
almost 3 times. Um, but that's
Thank
another
God it
team
wasn't the
that
3rd. It'd be insufferable.
had all of these pieces come together at the right
Yeah.
time, and that is a stacked team.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
speaking of the Lightning, something interesting happened with them recently, in that they celebrated Victor Hedman's 1,000th game in the
that's
NHL on
that's
Monday,
crazy.
in their matchup against the Dallas Stars. Um, a lot of the players wore special T-shirts when they walked in. So, like, you know how in NHL you have to be in your suit and
Yeah,
everything, like, you have to show up in the arena in a suit? Well, they made it a special allowance to allow them to wear a suit, but underneath the suit, they wore a special T-shirt, that said 77 1,000 NHL games on it, which is super cute, that they all were just matching for the occasion.
adorable.
Super adorbs. And then all the players wore jerseys during warm-ups that had the number 1,000 written on them, and they all said Hedman, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, he is I read something, that he's like the 383rd or something like that person um, to, uh, play 1,000 career games.
yeah, and he's only 32.
Yeah, and he's the first defenseman for Tampa Bay to do it.
He is, yeah,
Yep. It's their first defenseman to reach, 1,000 games and only their 3rd Tampa player in general, joining Vincent Lecavalier, with 1,037. And then obviously our boy Steven Stamkos,
it would have
obviously
been
got there
yeah,
as well.
it would have been 4 if Marty St. Louis didn't get traded.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I
true.
mean, 25 points in 26 games this season, that's
Yep.
he's averaging about a point a game. Regardless if he's got 5 goals and 20 assists, that's still
Mhm.
production. And he's
Yeah.
only 32.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we very much so I feel like over the past couple years we've all kind of gushed a little bit in our own way for our love of Victor Hedman because he's so good. Like
He's just yeah.
he's a guy that you
And
can
he's
count on.
yeah.
And he likes to spend a little bit of time in the box. He's got 686 career penalty minutes.
Mhm.
We like a feisty boy, so
His dad, Ole Hedman, wrote a letter to his son that was posted on the Lightning's website that was really, really sweet. So I'm just gonna read a couple of lines from it. He said, "You will never think you're any better than the person next to you. You treat everyone with respect. Son, you've done it all the right way. You came to this town at 18 years old with the weight of the world on your shoulders. They labeled you the best Swedish defenseman since Nicholas Lindstrom. You took that pressure as privilege. You embraced it and took it in stride." That's just really sweet.
that is. And I mean, that's high praise to even be considered in the same conversation as someone like Nicholas
Lindstrom.
Lindstrom.
Yeah.
That's really high praise.
Yeah.
I
So I just wanted to
yeah.
give a shout out to him for getting to 1,000. That's a huge, huge milestone for anyone
Hell
to hit,
yeah. Hell
as
yeah.
evidenced by only being like 300 some people in NHL history
Yeah.
to have done the same thing. So
I know that's
pretty cool.
nuts. And I imagine the
Yeah.
list for Swedish players is probably even smaller. So,
Mhm.
um yeah,
Yep.
shout out Victor Hedman. Um
Yeah, man.
super excited for him. That's cool.
Yeah. Another quick note too, something we wanted to bring up, is actually really exciting for my team personally, but for all teams really. The NHL salary cap is expected to rise to $87.7 million for next season. Um, so that's going up another million from 2022, 2023. It was 81.5 million in 21 or 2019 um, for the because of the financial impact from the pandemic. The cat which is expected to rise by $4.2 million, has not increased by more than 4 million since it went up 4.5 in 2018.
Right.
So, but still, which actually isn't that far away. Bettman also said that the revenue projection for the season is $6.2 billion,
Which is
which is
big.
insane. Yeah,
That's
Bettman said, "I think most people see it as good news." Sorry, I should read it in, like, a less annoying voice, but that's just how I that he talks in my head. "They understand it's important for it to get finalized in time for us to do it next season's schedule."
He talks like a fucking valley girl.
Yeah, in my brain, 100%.
I can see it.
100%. Yeah.
That's funny. No,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Um, this is big for the sport. It really is.
Mhm.
Obviously they're not at the numbers the NFL is or the
Yeah.
NBA, but if you have to go top 3, the NHL is definitely in the top 3 in the United States. So,
Yeah.
um,
This is much needed.
yeah, yeah, it's very important to know. Also, I heard rumors about the league raising the minor league base salary as well. I
Yes.
heard rumors.
That's
I
not agreed on yet.
Yeah, I say I haven't heard anything definite, but I know that that's a
Yeah.
thing, and that's also important too. I think we've
Yeah.
discussed that these, minor league, 18, 19-year-old kids that come over should absolutely be paid, accordingly if their talent's there. Like, you
Hell
know how
yeah.
hard it is to get into professional hockey?
Look, and I mean, it's definitely a slower pace. It's not there you can see a difference
Oh yeah,
between AHL and
absolutely,
EHL and
absolutely.
the NHL, right? But they're still putting their actual fucking life on the line every time they get out
Yeah.
there. Like, there is, a lot of stuff happening with concussions around the league, and that is could be permanently damaging for many.
Mhm.
They're risking their bodies and years off of their life because of injuries that they've sustained where they can't be with family. So they deserve to be compensated for that in some way.
I agree.
That's my 2 cents.
Well, thanks for giving it to us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, and then we have some international NHL news.
We do. In fact, the NHL is making plans to hold a 4-team in-season international tournament in 2025. It looks like they hoped to have the top 4 internationally ranked teams each time they do this tournament.
Nice.
It is currently indicated that it would be the United States, Canada, Sweden, and Finland, which makes sense considering those
Hmm.
are 4 of the top 5 countries of
Yeah.
where players are from. Nothing is set in stone yet. The last time they did an in-season break was for the 2014 Olympics when the
Okay.
NHL players were still included. That is also
Yeah.
another topic of discussion. That is, I don't know where that lays. Um, as of right now. But yeah, I think this is a cool thing.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think it's any secret that we here do enjoy ourselves some international hockey tournaments.
Mhm.
Obviously with our coverage of the World Juniors last year, and we're gonna within the next couple weeks be talking about that
Do it
as well.
again. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and this is a cool way for players to be able to represent their country, even if
Mhm.
it's not for the Olympics. And obviously the Hockey World Cup, that's been something that they've been trying to get a good handle on and be able to
Right.
consistently do. Um, so I'm here for this. I think that'll be cool, and to continuously each year rotate the top 4 teams in the world. I think that's cool as well because there are teams that could also pop up, like the Czech Republic could pop up. Um,
Yeah.
we've got all of these other like teams. Latvia's been getting better. Um, so I think that that's a really neat idea.
I
Obviously,
agree.
I don't think we'll see a time where the U.S. and Canada don't end up in that tournament,
Mhm.
for obvious reasons. But no, good on Bettman for making some proper changes here.
Yeah. I'm for it. I'm for it. Um, so I realized I missed, like, a golden opportunity earlier to segue into our question of the week. Um, So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Alright,
Rewind.
so I wasn't here last week, obviously, as
Yes.
you could tell. Um, so I didn't get my chance to talk about it, so now we're gonna talk about it now. Do we think that organizations owe it to their players to announce, things like suspensions, leaves of absence, or, high profile firings, I guess is how I'll phrase that,
Why don't you ask
in
the
a
question
nice
you
way?
want to ask? Just ask the question
Did
you want to ask.
did Chicago fuck over Corey Perry? Did they handle that situation poorly?
Well, I mean,
And
it's the
do
Blackhawks.
organizations are they required to handle it better?
Name me a situation that the Blackhawks haven't fucked up in the last like 5 years.
So here's a conspiracy theory that Chris and I have talked about.
Mind you,
Did
we
Chi
just want to preface that this is us talking out of our ass and
100%.
probably means
That's why
nothing, but it
I'm
was a
using the
fun
word conspiracy
conversation. Yeah.
theory.
It was a fun
Yeah,
little thought we had.
exactly. Do we like I think it is not out of the realm of possibility that they handled Corey Perry's situation the way that they did as an attempt to say, "Hey, look, we've changed since we allowed a predator to continue predating, while we tried to win a cup. We've changed since we then tried to cover up that predators predating." But see, now look, we're kicking a guy out because he broke some little rules that we're not gonna tell you what they are because you don't deserve to know that, but, like, we're gonna tell you that he did something really fucking bad, so he's gone. Like, I think that's possible, that they use that to try and boost their own image a little bit.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna disagree.
Spicy.
It's very much so a possibility. But like
Yeah.
the one thing that bothered me about the whole situation is just
Mhm.
how like shh, we don't want to
Yeah.
talk about we don't want to talk about it. That's the only thing that bothered me. And like the internet is
Yeah.
going to do what the internet does and come up with
100%.
crazy ass rumors.
So,
Um
like, it was because Corey Perry fucked Bedard's mom, like,
Yeah,
that is the rumor.
and
That was
then
the
there were
prevalent
and
rumor.
then there were rumors that he wasn't the only player on the team to do that, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Whoa." Um,
Mhm.
Obviously, we know we still don't know the full extent, and we probably never
Yeah.
will, and that's fine. Obviously, Corey Perry has since
Right.
released a statement talking about how he's getting help for drinking, and that has it's from other reports that that was also the reason he didn't re-sign in Tampa.
Right.
Um, I
Which if there is here's my thing. If you have a player who is in addiction crisis, as it is seemingly being portrayed as, is a situation with Corey Perry, with him needing to get help for his drinking, the way to ensure that their drinking doesn't stop anytime soon is to throw them under the bus in such a public way of being like, "Yeah, he did something so fucking horrendous that we, Chicago, of all places, had to let him go. And we're not gonna tell you what it was, and we're not gonna talk about it, but just know that it was really fucking bad."
yeah,
And they're gonna hold a press conference and be like, "We're not gonna tell you about it, but we're gonna say, yeah, like, it didn't have to do with any, like, players or players' parents."
I
Like,
know. I'm
what?
just like,
Like, it's insane, and so it's very much you're doing 2 things with that. 1, you're forcing Corey to either come out and be like, "Hey, I have a problem with booze, and it's
yeah,
real fucking bad,"
you
which is not great to have to force a player to do that. If they need help, and you should let them get help with dignity.
right.
And 2, you're putting this situation on fucking Connor Bedard, because now, like, regardless of anything, he's gonna get so many chirps for the rest of his goddamn career about how Corey Perry fucked his mom.
Yeah.
And, like, that already happens, and it's like, "Hee hee ha ha," but when it was every fucking Twitter reply for days on end,
Oh, yeah, for at
like, it
least
becomes
3 or
less
4
hee hee ha
days.
ha.
Last week was
Yeah,
fucking crazy. And I mean,
exactly.
in retrospect, as we were talking before, the started recording, the NBA is dealing with a lot bigger issue right now with the players. So, like, all things
Yeah,
considered, this isn't that bad. But like, I
right.
feel like Chicago put themselves in a no-win situation.
Yeah,
You're either, like you said, forcing a player to come out and say, "Hey, this is what's actually happening," and then you're also forcing a young player to have to kind of deal with the backlash. You're also hurting your team
Mhm.
by how
Making
do
your organization a joke on the
yeah,
internet?
like you're putting another black mark on your franchise, which has had,
Mhm.
let's be
Enough.
honest, enough of bullshit in the last 5, 6 years,
Yeah.
if not longer. Let's not forget Patrick Kane has gotten himself into trouble a couple times in Chicago.
Yeah.
Um, so dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, I do have a love for Corey Perry. He's a former Duck. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna sit here and say
Played with
that
the
he's
Ducks for a
had,
long time.
yeah, he won a cup with the Ducks. He'll 100% have, his name in rafters in Anaheim at some point.
Yeah.
But it's no joke that he hasn't exactly had, or it's no secret rather that he's hasn't exactly had the squeaky cleanest of,
Mm-mm.
careers. And that's fine.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. But this is
Yeah.
just the people that hate him. This is another thing to chalk. Oh, he's a cancer in the locker room. It's like,
Right.
listen,
Going
Nate,
around fucking people's moms.
yeah, like when when you got Connor McDavid slinging dick all over the ice last year, 153
Right.
points. If he wasn't married, he was fucking everybody's girlfriend or
Yeah.
or wife or
Or mom.
mom. Yeah,
Yeah.
even grandmas, dude.
But I think the point is that organizations do owe it to their players to treat them with dignity and respect because
Yeah,
they are on a world stage.
right.
They are, I mean, very much so like any other celebrity. They have tabloids about them. They have rumor mills that are
Yeah.
vicious. They have weird, adoring fans,
Playing
and so I think we owe
in
it.
market press is a lot harsher on
Yeah.
them than pretty anybody else.
Right. So I think that they owe it to them to find a balance of being like, "Hey, there were issues here. Those aren't
Yeah.
our issues to discuss, but we're, with peace and love, letting him
Yeah.
go."
And like I said, we don't know the severity of the incident. It could have
Right.
100% been bad enough to warrant, hey, we can't keep you anymore. You got to go. Like that
Right.
150% could be the case. We don't know
Absolutely.
because it hasn't been released, and that's fine. We as fans aren't really owed anything.
No.
Um, so
But
like,
they made it a media circus
yeah,
with the way that they handled
they
it. They
handled
don't
it
owe us
poorly.
anything,
They
but
handled
they
it to a
handled it
point
poorly.
where now they have to figure out how to make this better looking for them, for sponsors, for
Mhm.
the ownership, and for like the general outlook for fans. Like
Yeah.
I can tell you it's no skin off my back to see them doing terribly. I've,
No.
very
No.
I've very publicly for most of my fandom as a hockey fan, I haven't liked the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've
Obviously,
had some
I've made
pretty
my
good,
feelings known.
yeah, yeah, they've had some great like battles in the playoffs and stuff with the Ducks
Yeah.
and beaten the Ducks a bunch over the last, 10 years when they were just
Right.
knocking off championships. Um so obviously yes, I don't like them. I respect the players and the teams. I don't go around completely shit talking them, but this is a fucking bad look.
Yeah.
This is a real bad. This is not as bad a look as
Bad
they've
look.
had before, but this is not a good look.
No.
Obviously, I don't know what's next for Corey Perry. I'd like to see him
Yeah.
go out on his own terms once he gets the help he needs and he comes
Right.
back. But I don't know, man. It's been a wild week just
Yeah.
trying to figure out what the hell went down.
Yeah.
And it was like, what got me is that they placed him on waivers, just hoping someone would take him off of their hands.
Yeah. On unconditional waivers.
Um,
Again, to me, that doesn't scream respect, and I don't care.
yeah,
I shouldn't say that. Let me take that back. It's not that I don't care what Corey Perry did, because we don't know what he did, so I can't possibly say that I don't give a shit about it.
yeah,
But I do think that he still deserves to have been either fired in total
yeah. Release
or
or trade me.
released or traded, but done in a way that was respectful
Yeah,
and that didn't cause. It's not just what they did to Corey, right? It's again what they did to Connor
yeah,
by doing what they did to Corey.
that you put
because what they did
unnecessary
was they
attention on
put
this kid for
exactly,
no
who
reason.
already has a bunch of attention on him as it is.
Yeah.
So, you're fucking your whole team over so that you can get, again, conspiracy theory, but some sort of internet point
Not
for
only
having
that, but
done the investigation and
all
been
of
open and
this
honest.
all of this also comes from not long after losing the other member of that first line with Taylor Hall being done for the year. So
Yeah.
you, within a couple weeks, have gone from a very solid
Mhm.
first line that helps Connor Bedard
Right.
learn well, 2 Hart Trophy
Yes.
winners, like 2 great players, to one's done for the season,
Nothing.
and the other one obviously did something so bad that they had just had to send him somewhere else. So now
Yeah.
Connor has to learn how to play, has to gain chemistry with
Yeah.
2 other people.
Right.
Um, I just, dude, it's I don't know if Chicago thinks, well,
I
not
don't think so
Chicago, but like
too.
the Blackhawks organization in general. I don't know if they think before they act,
No,
because this
they
is
don't.
your future. This kid is your
Yeah.
future, and guess what? He can leave at any time.
Yeah.
All it takes is him asking for a trade,
Yeah.
and he's only got what, a 3-year deal. He could bounce after 3 years. Granted, he'll be an RFA, but still, he can just peace out. We all
Yeah.
expected Jack Hughes to do that first year with the
Oh,
Devils because they were
but
so bad.
they turned it around, man.
They somehow figured it out, and the Devils are a really solid team. Obviously, you get multiple Hughes brothers at once. How you feeling over there, champ?
I know, I'm just, like, suddenly deteriorating right before everyone's eyes. It's
um,
fine, I'm good.
so dude,
But
I don't know. I just
yeah,
fucking
I don't
don't
think they handled it well.
understand.
I don't get it. They're very dumb.
Yes.
Alright, and with that, let's get into, some starts of the week/month. So let's start actually with stars of the month because we didn't end out November. So let's end out November on our books at least. With the 3 stars for November, starting with 3rd star is someone we've been talking about all fucking night, Quinn Hughes, defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. Um, Hughes, whose younger brother Jack was named 1st star of October, ranked 4th in the NHL in both assists and overall scoring. He had 17 assists and 5 goals, for a total of 22 points in 15 November games, to help the Canucks to a 9-6-0 month. He set a franchise record for points in a calendar month by a defenseman, eclipsing the previous high of 21 established by Dennis Kearns in March of 1977. That's a long time. That's an old record.
1977.
1977. Hughes also led the league with 11 power play assists in November, and he was able to get goals in 12 out of the 15 games he played, highlighted by a career best 11-game point streak from November 6th to the 25th, tied for the youngest by a blue liner in Vancouver history, and he matched another team record rather for defensemen with 1 goal and 4 assists on November 2nd
There you go. You got there.
against the San Jose Sharks. I was like, "What do all these numbers mean?"
Oh, why
One of
can't I read?
I cannot read good. One of 4 multi-point performances he produced throughout the month. Again, he's 2nd overall, as we talked about earlier, and 5th in the entire league with 33 points through 24 outings. I like how
33.
when they describe it as outings.
I
There's so
know.
many outings.
I know.
Makes it sound like it's high society. So many outings.
Ooh, we have several
We
outings
have
for the season this year,
outings,
darling. Ooh,
yes.
yes, of course. Why do we always come back to my regal British voice? I don't understand.
I love it though. Ah, so
Oh,
much fun.
just quietly. Oh, he got hit. Ooh, he got.
Oh
That was
my god. Please, Chris, we need to do this. We need to do like do you remember that video where you were commentating on like an NHL
Oh my god,
23?
yes.
Do that, but do it in your like regal British voice. Oh my fucking god. That would be so fucking funny.
That's an
That's
idea.
content.
That's content. We should make that happen one day.
We should make
We
that
need to make
happen.
that happen.
100%. Even if we don't record it, even if it's just for like our personal pleasure, like we need to make that happen.
Oh, 100%. I'm in.
That's amazing.
I'm
Okay.
in.
Anyway, back to this. The 2nd star is another name that we have mentioned many a time on this podcast recording today and every day. The 2nd star is Cale Makar, defenseman for the Colorado
Yes, we
Avalanche.
do speak about Mr. McCarr fairly often.
Frequently. He has led with 21 assists and ranked second with 25 points and a plus 13 rating across 14 games. Avalanche had a 9-4-1 record in November. Only 4 defensemen in league history have collected more assists in a single calendar month. A list that was topped by Roman Josi in March of 2022 with the Nashville Predators.
Mm,
Makar's 25 points also set a franchise record for a blue liner in any calendar month, surpassing the previous high of 21 shared by him and Steve Duquesne.
right on.
Hmm, interesting. I was just reading his stats. Anyway, Makar notched points in 12 of his 14 November outings, highlighted by 5 consecutive multi-point performances, a run that included three straight 3-assist games. So there's no word, I don't think. Like, there's no hat trick for assists, but
No,
there should
he
be.
just had 3 in a game. Yeah, there
Yeah,
should be.
that would be more fun. Let's figure that out. Let's workshop it, team.
We'll figure
Let us
something
know in
out.
the comments what you think that should be.
Yeah,
He
that's
also
your
became
topic. Let us know.
yeah, that's our question to
That's
you
our
this
question to
week.
you this week. Let us know what you think 3 assists in a game should be called.
Yeah. He also became also your stupid fucking NHL app notification or ESPN
No,
app,
it was
whatever it
ESPN to let me know that
is.
UConn beat North Carolina.
He also became the fastest defenseman in NHL history to accumulate 200 career assists, doing so in his 254th game when they played against Dallas. The 25-year-old Makar, who won the Calder Memorial Trophy in 2019-2020, added both the James Norris Memorial Trophy and the Conn Smythe Trophy to his roster and leads defensemen and sits third in the entire league with 7 goals and 27 assists through 22 total contests this season. He also shares the league lead in plus minuses at plus 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot
And
of that is a lot of
mhm.
positive productivity. Dude, I'm struggling with words today.
Yeah, dude. Same. Same. That leads us to our first star, who is not someone we've talked about today yet, though we have talked about his team. It's not Chicago, in case you thought we were gonna go
I
down
was like,
that
wait,
roll.
who are we gonna talk about?
Nope. Nikita Kucherov. He's a
Oh,
right winger for the Tampa
Cooch.
Bay Lightning. Do love Kucherov.
He's your points leader this
Kucherov
year.
produced 2 points per game, leading the NHL with 9 goals, 19 assists in 14 games, as well as 3 goals and 10 assists on the power play and 73 shots on goal. Wow.
Yeah,
To guide the Lightning to a 6-7-2 November,
he's so good.
right? He found the score sheet in 12 of his 14 appearances, including assists and points in each of his last 8 outings to close out the month. Kucherov is a had 6 multi-point efforts, highlighted by a 1 goal, 4 assist win over Ottawa, and 2 goals and 2 assists in their game against Toronto. He then matched a franchise record with 2 goals and 4 assists against Carolina, making the first 6-point performance by any NHL player since December 7th of 2022. Do you remember who that was, Chris? Who had 6-point performance in 2022?
Was that Connor McDavid?
Tage Thompson.
Tage Thompson. That's
Mhm.
right.
When he
Tage
had
had a
5
few of
goals and
those.
1 assist against Buffalo.
Tage had a few of those.
Yeah. Kucherov's 28 points were in the 4th most in a calendar month in Tampa Bay history, a number he has surpassed 2 times in 2022 and 2018.
That's
The
nuts.
30-year-old Kucherov won the Hart Memorial Trophy, the Ted Lindsay Award, and the Art Ross Trophy all in 2018-19. Currently tops the NHL with 15 goals and 24 assists overall, and 6 goals and 13 assists on the power play through 23 total games this season. He ranks among
That's
the
nuts.
23-24 leaders in shots on goal, with first at 111, and power play assists with second at 13, goals tied for second with 15, assists third at 24, and power play goals tied for fifth with 6.
Dude,
Whew.
he's got 42 points in 20 games. That's fucking
Yeah.
bananas.
Isn't that insane? Also, shout out to the NHL for these, like, honestly, just delightful summaries that we
Oh
have
yeah.
about these stars of the month and the week and everything. They're super helpful. But yeah, that is who was leading us in November. So let's start off December with our 3 stars of the week for the week ending in December 3rd. So it just passed. First off, We get to talk about another person we've talked about a lot tonight, Jacques Hughes,
Jacques Hughes, someone we
a
talk about a
center for the
lot.
New Jersey Devils. We do talk about him an awful lot. His name is just so much fun to
Oh yeah,
say.
we like Jack.
Yeah, we do. He's a good kid. And I say kid because he's literally a child. Hughes
He's
has
like
paced the
20.
NHL. Yeah. Hughes paced the NHL with 3 goals and 4 assists across 3 games, to help the Devils to a 2-1-0 week. He got 1 goal and 2 assists in each of his first 2 games, picking up 1 goal and 1 assist in the third, as New Jersey overcame a 2-goal deficit for a 5-4 win against the New York Islanders, and earning the primary assist on his brother Luke's overtime goal in a 4-3 win over the Philadelphia Flyers. It marked the 4th time in his career that Hughes has posted consecutive three-point performances, and the 2nd time he has achieved that feat in the 2023-2024 season. Following a 3-game run from October 20th to the 25th, Hughes added 1 goal in a 6-3 loss to the San Jose Sharks, becoming the fastest player in franchise history to reach the 30-point milestone in a season. The 22-year-old Hughes, who has 9 goals and 21 assists overall, tops the league with 1.76 points per game so far this season.
Dude, we're both
Incredible.
10 years older than him. This is fucking
I know, it
awful.
hurts.
I mean,
It
he did
hurts.
add to his point total today. Currently he
So far, yeah.
has a goal and an assist. They are up 4-2
There
over
you
the
go.
Canucks in the second period.
There you go. Beating up on their big brother, huh? How
Yeah,
awful.
who hasn't seen any points yet today?
Well, there's still time. The
Oh yeah,
game is but young.
it is but
Um,
young.
it is but young.
Very young.
Our second star, someone we have not talked about today, fucking finally. Matthew Barzal, a
Someone we
center
haven't
for the
talked
New York
about at all
Islanders.
this year so far. We haven't
We
talked
talked
about
about
Barzy yet.
have we haven't?
No.
I in my personal life have
You
talked about
might have talked about
Barzal.
Barzell in
I
your
think I
personal
talked
life.
about him in my personal life. That's fair. Um, Barzal had 2 goals and 5 assists, over 2 appearances, in the Islanders, in their he's only played in 2
There you
games
go. You got
out
it.
of their 3. No, it's just worded very confusingly, so I'm, like, reading ahead. Um what?
What?
No, I'm reading this now and I'm very confused.
I am confusion.
It says Barzal compiled 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points in 2 appearances as the Islanders won 2 of their 3 contests to take over the final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. What?
So
We're not
current
there yet.
No, but currently they are sitting in wild card spot.
That seems silly to mention now. That's why my brain broke because 'cause I'm like, "Where"
It does
I'm like, "Am I
because
reading something from an
we're
old
fucking
season? What the
26
fuck is
game or
happening?"
27 games into the season. Like we have a whole lot left. We
There's
have
a
an
lot of
entire
yeah,
winter to go through here.
right. Okay, alright, sorry, that broke my brain. Alright, so he had 1 goal, 2 assists in his, 23rd career three-point performance, and first so far of this season in a 5-4 loss to the Devils. Barzal then became the 3rd player in franchise history, joining Pierre Turgeon and Ray
Ferraro.
Ferraro to post a 4-point game that included an overtime winner, collecting 1 goal, 3 assists, capped by his 4th career overtime goal, and a 5-4 triumph against the Carolina Hurricanes. The 26-year-old Barzal, who leads New York with 7 goals and 16 assists through 22 total outings this season, has recorded 3+ points in consecutive games for the 3rd time in his career, and first time in almost 5 years.
You just
Yay.
pissed off a lot of Islanders fans by
Why?
pronouncing legends' names wrong.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, Ray Ferraro
Fine.
is a commentator, so like
No.
at least with him. No, dude, Barzy's a stud, and I knew once they
Really nice.
re-signed him, he was gonna be like their biggest production. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, and that doesn't make sense to me at all. Talking about a wild card spot, because A, they're tied with Tampa,
Yeah.
and B, we're a quarter of the way through the
We're,
season.
like, not there yet,
We're
dude.
not even close. Talk to me
To
after
take
the
over
All
the
Star
final
break.
wild card spot
Yeah.
is insane. Yeah. Anyway, next up is a name that we for sure have not talked about on
No.
this podcast. I can confirm, goaltender Connor Ingram of the Arizona Coyotes. Never would I think that the Arizona Coyotes are getting a first fucking star with how shitty their franchise is. But nonetheless, here we are, and he's earned it. Ingram stopped 89 of the 94 shots he faced, going 3-0 with a 1.63 goals against average and a .947 save percentage to help the Coyotes move into the first wild. No! Fucking cut it out,
No!
NHL.
Stop it!
Stop it. Um, while extending their win streak to 4 games dating back to November 25th, Ingram made 30 saves and picked up his second assist of the season in a 3-1 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. He then denied 28 shots as Arizona rallied from a pair of one-goal deficits for a 4-3 overtime win against the Colorado Avalanche. Ingram finished the week with 31 stops and his sixth 30-save performance of 2023-2024 and a 4-1 triumph versus the St. Louis Blues. The 26-year-old Ingram, who has started every contest during the Coyotes' current 4-game win streak, owns a 10-3-0 record through 14 total appearances. That math doesn't math. How can you be 10-3-0 and have 14 total appearances? Anyway, ranks among the league leaders in wins, tied for 6th. Goals against average at 8th and with a minimum of 7 games played, and save percentage at 6, again, minimum of 7 games played. He also beat the shit out of my team, so we're in
So,
agreement.
stats this year for Ingram.
Yeah.
15 he's played 15 games. He's 11-3. He has a 2.23 goals against average and a save percentage of .930 with 2 shutouts on the season, and he's also
Yep.
recorded 2 assists. Listen, fucking
Yeah.
Arizona is 13-9-2 so far this season. They're on a
How did it
5-game win
happen?
streak, and in their last 10 games, they're 6-3-1.
Yeah, how did it happen? Somebody tell me.
I don't know.
They play in a college stadium called fucking Mullet Arena.
Mullet Arena. I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Like, I guess it's good to see them doing all right, but
Yeah.
like
Good for them.
they're
Maybe their state will want them to stick around now.
it's weird.
It's strange.
They're
It's
12th
odd.
in the league in
Mhm.
like obviously in points, but like it's
Yeah.
dude, their goals
They're kicking ass
against
right now.
77, goals for 81. They've got one
Yeah.
shutout win. I don't know where the fuck the Coyotes came from.
They
But
showed up, I'm telling
yeah,
you.
they showed up in a big way.
Showed up and showed out. So, that's our 3 stars this week. NHL, a formal request from the Pucked Up podcast, stop talking about the fucking wild card spot in goddamn December.
We're not even
You
there yet,
fucking
guys.
weirdos.
Don't be weird.
Don't be weird. Alright. With that, um, let's move in to, what is normally danger section, but we're gonna take it over this week.
We are,
So,
yes.
I'm gonna kick us off, which is gonna piss her off because her team is the first one to get a suspension on this list. But I'm gonna kick us off with fines and suspensions, and then Chris is gonna take over for the injury list. Mostly because then I get to laugh at him if he ever says a name wrong, and nobody has to laugh at me. So, starting with November 26th of 2023, Ryan Hartman was issued a suspension. Ryan Hartman, famously being of the Minnesota Wilds, for tripping Alex DeBrincat, who is currently playing for the Red Wings.
Yes.
'Cause he got drafted, which is so unfortunate. Or traded, I mean. Ryan was suspended for 2 games, and he is forfeiting $41,463.41 of his salary due to those 2 games that he'll be missing. Um, and again, that was for tripping. On November 30th, Brendan Smith of the New Jersey Devils was suspended for slashing against Travis Konechny, who is a player for the Philadelphia Flyers. He was also suspended for 2 games, and he is losing, I mean, a fucking measly $11,458.33.
Yep.
One of the lowest totals so far this year, which is insane. Next, we have some fines that have come out. Now, the fines, there's actually quite a few to get through, so bear with me. First, we have Ross Colton of the Colorado Avalanche for cross-checking Timo Meyer of the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, I saw that
Uh,
one. That one was
Fined
brutal.
$5,000. Yeah, I mean, 5,000 is the league maximum, I believe,
Well,
so
that's
he got the
with
most of it.
Hartman we talked about last week on the show.
Oh,
He's
shit.
lucky that he only got 2 games.
You know what? I forgot that you guys did a show, so I probably didn't need to mention those, but you know what?
No, but it's fine. But yeah,
It's
no,
fine.
He's lucky he only got 2 games.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So with that said, you guys already talked about Leon Draisaitl,
we
trip against Bo Horvat,
did talk about Draisaitl, I believe.
Adam Ernie, elbowing Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. Um, yep. So, actually, the only new one that you guys wouldn't have talked about, because you would have talked about
Anything up to
Miles
the
Hoglander,
28th.
Jacob Trouba, Zach McEwen.
Yeah, because the Jacob
So
Trouba we
now
talked about, because I was like, he fucking swung it like a baseball bat at his face.
yeah. Now we have Travis Konechny of the Philly Flyers, cross-checking Brendan Smith, currently
It's
playing
a
for the
lot of
New Jersey
cross-checking.
Devils. Lot of cross-checking this season. Um, also got fined the maximum allowed at $5,000. So, there you go. And now we're all caught up.
We are.
I forgot that you guys recorded last week, I'm not gonna lie, even though I watched that episode.
Honestly, I forgot I recorded last week too,
Twilight
to be
Zone.
fair.
So, anyway, just so to give it a little update, so far in fines, the league has fined players $66,901.04.
It's a nice little chunk.
And in suspensions, we have forfeited 62 games with an asterisk that a majority of that was for Shane Pinto for
For fucking gambling.
yeah, and has forfeited, a total of $439,666.54.
Wow.
We're not even a quarter of the way through the season, and we're
60,
already
dude,
at, like, almost a half of
that's
$1,000,000 for the
fucking
players this season.
crazy.
Isn't that insane? The biggest one in that being Charlie McAvoy, who was
Yeah.
fined $197,000
He should have been. That was
for 4
fucking
games for an
yeah.
illegal check to the head.
Yeah,
That was
that was very
yeah.
much so, like, and we talked
Mhm.
about, we all know Charlie McAvoy's
Yeah.
not that, he's not that type of player. But yeah, you gotta keep
Whew.
yourself in check, man.
Yep. Yep, yep.
There you go.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Ooh, I get to do all the Hurt Boys. Obviously, I'm just gonna
Yes.
be doing everything that we didn't cover last week. We're gonna start with Anaheim. We have 3 updated today. Max Jones, obviously, that happened tonight against the Colorado Avalanche. There's no information. Jamie
Mhm.
Drysdale, expected to be out until the 7th, along with Trevor Zegras, both
Bummer.
battling lower body injuries. It looks like the Ducks are going to be without Mason McTavish until December 10th. That was updated yesterday. Obviously, Anaheim's not the only other one left on the IR for Anaheim is
Mhm.
Isaac Lundestrom. They're not expecting him back until February because of his Achilles injury.
Please, yikes.
For Arizona, Travis Dermott, expected to be back on December 7th. As well as, oh, I found a name that I'm gonna probably struggle with.
Yes.
Vladislav Koliakonik. That was updated yesterday. Lower body injury, expected to keep him out until the 7th. Sean Dursey
Yep.
looked like that happened yesterday. Still listed day to day.
Yep.
Travis Boyd, upper body injury, expected back on December 11th. That was updated on the 2nd. Still nothing for the Boston Bruins except for whatever the hell is going on with Milan Lucic.
Yep.
Buffalo. 4 players to talk about updated today. Jordan Greenway expected to be out until December 11th with an upper body injury. Alex Tuck has a lower body injury expected to come back on the 13th of December. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen,
Great
which is
name.
a great name. He is
Yeah.
sick, so he did not play tonight, but he is looking to be back on Thursday. Zemsis Girgensons also is a lower
Also a
body.
great
I
name.
love his name. He has a lower body injury, expected to be back on the 13th.
And this is
Uh,
clearly outdated because oh, no, never mind, never mind, never mind. Ignore me, continue.
okay. Only new one for Calgary is Jacob Markstrom. Looks like he has an injured finger, probably broken or sprained. He'll be out of
Okay.
action until December 14th. Um,
Okay.
We have, it looks like, a timetable finally for Frederick Anderson's return with the Carolina Hurricanes. As
Mhm.
you guys know, we talked about he has an issue, or he has been dealing with an issue with blood clots.
Yep.
He expected to be back by the end of the year. So December 30th, December 31st. Hopefully we'll
Love to
see
see
him.
that.
I know we all know from me, he's a former Duck. I love Frederick Anderson. He's a great
Yeah.
goaltender. So very happy to see him doing well. Um, Nothing new for Chicago. We've got a decent amount for Colorado. To start with Valeri
Oh.
Nikushkin. He's got some sort of illness. He might be another member of the syphilis bus.
Syphilis balls.
He is
He's in
expected to
Chicago.
be
Colorado.
Colorado. Yeah,
Wow.
syphilis bus must be making its stop in Colorado.
Yeah.
He's expected to be back on the 7th. Bowen Byram left the game today as well. He is day to day with an upper body injury. Arturi Lehkonen updated today. He's expected to suit up for the team on Thursday. As well as Cale Makar and Andrew Cogliano, both with lower body injuries, expected back.
Their whole team is just like, "Dude, come on, get it
Yeah,
together."
I know.
Poor fellas.
It's nuts. Same with Sam
Yeah.
Gerard. He's dealing with personal matters. He should be returning by the end of the week.
Perfect.
Updated a couple for Columbus. Patrick Laine. Dude, it seems like the syphilis bus might be in Columbus because
I
both Patrick Laine
mean,
and Eric Goodbranson are both dealing with an
yeah.
illness. They will be back on Thursday, as well as Cole Sillinger.
They all went to
He's
the same party, you
Yeah,
know?
except for Sillinger's the only one who has an actual apparent injury. Dealing with
Doesn't
an
mean he
upper
wasn't
body
there.
issue. That's very true. um, Damon Severson was updated on the 30th. He has an oblique injury. He's looking to be out
Ooh,
until the start of 2024.
yowza.
So that is not
That
great.
sucks.
Yeah,
No.
hopefully Severson can come back because Columbus needs all the help they can get.
Yep.
um, uh, Couple updates. Obviously, we discussed Patrick Kane signing with the Detroit Red Wings last week.
Yep.
He has a hip injury. He's expected to make his debut with the Red Wings on Thursday. Matt Luff, upper body injury, reported today. He's expected to be out until December 14th, so not a
Mm,
bad turnaround for them.
yeah.
Nothing new for Edmonton. Um, Florida. That'll be Jonah Gajovic. I always know how to say his name, but I fuck it up in my brain. Updated on the 3rd. He is day to day with an upper body injury, so we will see how that plays out over the next week.
Mhm.
For LA, we have Blake Lizotte, undisclosed injury. He's expected to be back by
Syphilis for sure.
Thursday. Yes, that one for sure is
When it's
syphilis.
undisclosed, syphilis for sure.
um, and Victor Arvidsson with a back injury. He's expected to be out
Ooh,
until the end of the year. That was updated on the
yikes.
3rd.
Yeah.
For Minnesota, Zach Bogosian with an upper body injury expected to return Thursday the 7th. As well as Danger's gonna be pissed at me for fucking this one up. Caden Bankier?
Yeah.
I was gonna say she would have been pissed at me for fucking that one up. Um, he is also dealing with an undisclosed injury, expected to be back next week.
Nice.
Couple new ones for Montreal. Alex Newhook with an ankle injury, expected to be sidelined until February 17th. So
Wow.
they are gonna miss him all the way up until the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And Chris Weidman with a back injury, he's expected to be back by tomorrow. I'm sorry,
Not bad.
Thursday.
Not a bad turnaround for a
No,
back
not too
injury.
bad. Nashville, Cody Glass, upper body injury, expected to be out until next week, looking like the 12th. And Cole Smith with an illness, expected to be back for Thursday's game. This one was just reported today. New Jersey Devils lost Dougie Hamilton with a pectoral
Mm.
injury. He's expected to be out until
Ooh,
February
that's a
15th.
tear for sure.
Yes. As well as Tomasz Nosek, we should be seeing with this foot injury back at some point next week. Um, New York Islanders, Sebastian Aho, not that
This one, not
Sebastian
that one.
Aho.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
The
have to
other
we
Sebastian
have to make
Aho.
the joke every week because it's
Well,
funny.
we need to clarify,
Yeah,
you
we
know?
need to let you guys know it's not that Sebastian
And not
Aho, it's the other one.
yeah.
But he has an upper body injury expected back on Thursday. Um, Still no news that we haven't reported on Adam Pellich. He should be back within the next couple weeks. New York Rangers, Philip Cheadle.
Great name.
I know, it's a good name. He's got an upper body injury expected to be back by the end of the week. And Barclay Goodrow was updated today, upper body, that is day to day.
Ooh.
The Ottawa Senators, Mark Kostelic is out with an ankle injury, should be back by Thursday the 7th. And Thomas Chabot is going... Chabooty. You guys, it's like quarter to midnight here right now, so don't mind us.
Don't mind me.
But he should be back by the end of the week with a lower body issue. The Ryan Ellis injury threw me off. It says July 1st. It's like, whoa. Philadelphia Flyers lost Noah Cates with a foot injury. He's expected to be out until late January.
Ugh.
That is rough. The Penguins are having a real fucking hard time right now. Five players.
Literally everyone from like, well, 4 of them in the same day, no less.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's nuts. We'll start with Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Lower body injury expected to be back by December 12th. Ricard Raquel is dealing with an upper body issue. He's expected to be back either the 12th or the 13th. Noel Ashiari is also dealing with a lower body issue, expected to be back on the 12th. We'll just wrap up the 12th one here with Matt Nieto, also lower body expected back. And then Chad Ruedel is expected to be back by the 6th with a lower body issue. I don't like that there's not a lot of like notes on the CBS website, I will say.
Well, there's notes that 4 of those 5 are on injured reserve.
That is very true.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot.
It's been a rough week for San Jose as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start with Oscar Lindblom. That is an a lower body injury, expected back next week. Ty Emberson also dealing with a lower body injury. He's expected back on the 10th. Ryan Carpenter dealing with an undisclosed injury, probably syphilis. He's expected back on the 12th. Luke Kunin is expected back with an upper body injury. He should be back by next week. And Logan Couture is dealing with a lower body issue, expected back December 15th. Seattle Kraken, Andrei Burakovsky. I know. He's so good. Yeah. Dealing with an upper body issue. He's expected to be back for Thursday, though. Jaden Schwartz is dealing with a lower body issue. He's not expected back until early January.
Yeah. Well.
So we'll see. 2 undisclosed issues for St. Louis. We will start with Anton Malmstrom. These are both reported on the 30th. He is expected back tomorrow, as well as Josh Jacobs. So whatever was ailing them must not be too bad.
Well, they at least got to do it together, you know?
You know what? That's true. You got to do stuff with your teammates.
Always better with a partner.
Yeah. The only new one for Tampa Bay is Connor Sherry. He is expected back right before Christmas. So
Crimbus? No way.
Yes. Upper body issue on that. I do remember hearing what it was, but my brain is not braining.
Yeah. No, same.
A couple new ones for Toronto. They lost Ilya Samsonov. He is day to day with an illness. Mark Giordano, finger injury. I think he took a puck to the hand, if I remember correctly. He's not expected back until next week. Timothy Liljegren with an ankle injury should be back by December 7th.
Nice.
And We haven't really got much of an update on Matt Murray. We still are just not expecting him to see him this year. I don't think he sees playing time this season.
No. Well, yeah.
I love how the first name I see for Vancouver. All right. For Vancouver, we have Pius Suter. He's got a lower body injury, expected back on Thursday, and our boy Guillaume Brisebois, or it's pronounced Goulamé.
Oh, Guillaume. We love you, Guillaume.
He's dealing with an undisclosed issue, and he should be back for Thursday. For Vegas, we have Alec Martinez. He's dealing with a lower body issue, expected back next week. Fucking Guillaume. Two goaltenders are down for Vegas. Aiden Hill with a lower body injury. He's expected back next week, as well as Isaiah Seville. Undisclosed issue for him. And the only one left new on that is Shea Theodore. He has an upper body issue, expected to be back on the 17th. Wow. We do hear that Robin Leonard is expected to possibly return by the 1st of next year.
Getting close.
For the Washington Capitals, we have two new ones. TJ Oshie, dealing with an upper body issue. He's expected to be back on Thursday.
Concussion.
Oh, yes.
He got his shit rocked.
And good news for Capitals fans. It looks like Max Pacioretty is going to hopefully be back by this week.
I hope so. I haven't really seen him on ice yet much. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll see him out there soon. We could sure use him.
Indeed. Only one left for Winnipeg. It's Vladislav Nemesnikov. He's got a lower body issue. He's expected to return next week. And Rasmus Kupari, we talked about a couple weeks ago, but he's expected to be out until at least the 16th of December. So we'll probably see him back in time for maybe post-Christmas break.
Yeah.
And
nice.
That was our injured
Great job,
boys.
Painter.
Hey, thanks.
No, I miss her. I miss her doing that because it's so much fun.
It's fun. It's fun for all of us because as much as you think she hates it, she definitely enjoys the struggle because we all just giggle together.
Yeah. Well, we reach a night too when we're recording this, or a point in the night when we're recording this, where it's just like it's funnier.
It's just
genuinely funnier.
It's so much. It's just dumb jokes, and we even our voice recording chat that we use in Discord. We even have like funny statuses that D and I'll go with. Last week was pretty good. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Couldn't do it this week though because unfortunately both of us have to be paying attention, so we can't be writing.
We can't be
silly little shabooty jokes in the chat there.
Shabooty.
All right. Well, why don't you take us home then? After you just did all that talking, now it's your turn because that was me 25 minutes ago.
That's right. I did a lot of talking last week too, so it's fine.
Now you get to round us home though with talking about this week's player of the week.
Indeed, our obscure NHL player of the week is a gentleman by the name of Darryl LaPlante. He was born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He was drafted in the 1995 draft, 58th overall, by the Detroit Red Wings. He had 35 career games in the show. No goals, 6 assists, but 10 penalty minutes. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. Yeah, he had a lot more penalty minutes.
He was on his best behavior in the NHL.
Indeed, yes. He did play a few games in 1998 to 1999, in which is one of the years that the Detroit Red Wings won the Stanley Cup. As well as 1997, 1998 is the year that they won the Stanley Cup. He is included in the Stanley Cup picture. He was left off the
Cute.
cup. He didn't qualify. He was
Mhm.
fun fact, he was selected in the 2000 NHL expansion draft by the Minnesota Wild,
Huh.
even though he never played a game for them.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he played.
Yeah, he never played a game for them. His last bit of the NHL was in 99 2000 with the Detroit Red Wings. Um, yeah, let's see. What was I saying? Oh, he currently is a non-competitive pond hockey player for Steelhawks.
Nice.
He cites his greatest professional achievement being a four-time non-competitive Lake Louise Pond Hockey Classic champion.
There you go.
So shout out to you, Daryl LaPlante. You being
LaPlante.
our NHL. Oh no, I always fuck that up. Never mind. You're our obscure player. I always fuck up the end every time. Every week I fuck it up.
I love that for
Oh
you.
my god.
One of these days you'll get it right, Chris.
Probably
One of these.
not.
I don't know. There's hope. There's always hope.
I
Except if you're in the Chicago organization, in
I
which
do want to
case,
update that
abandon
Anaheim
all hope. He who
did
entered you.
lose to the Avalanche
Oh.
after
What about
playing them.
the whatchamacallit? The
Yeah,
Hughes
let us take
face
a
off
look before we wrap
before we
up.
end it. Why not? We talked
Um,
about him so goddamn much
it
today.
is 5-2 in the second intermission. Um,
Wow.
Two of the three Hughes brothers. Oh, the second period goal scored by Luke Hughes was assisted by his big brother Jack. That's
Cute.
adorable. Yeah, Quinn's still not on the board.
Quinn's like, you motherfuckers.
But Luke has been tripped.
Ooh.
There was
Okay.
a second period penalty on Dakota Joshua for tripping against Luke Hughes. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
second intermission. If you guys want to check out the scores and stuff, well, you'll have already seen this by the
You know
time
how
this
the
goes
internet
up.
works.
Yeah, you know how
Yeah.
this works. You guys are probably already watching. And if you're not,
Yeah.
well, I'm sorry.
Listen, time's not linear.
Indeed.
Okay.
I will say I did mention last week that I was going to go and back and watch the Kachuk brother game, and
Just watch the melee.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like 106 penalty minutes just from that
Yeah.
fight alone. That was fucking wild.
The ref literally was like, everybody on the ice
Everybody
is
else
getting a
gets a
10-minute
10-minute
misconduct.
misconduct.
All of you. Okay?
It's like,
And then you
holy
hand over to the
shit.
bench, and it's like 5 players all evenly spaced out. Looks like a fucking beer league.
Dude, it's
Oh, it
nuts.
was incredible.
Other updates on
Absolutely
the
incredible.
scores today as of time of recording. Minnesota beat Calgary 5-2.
Nice.
Nashville beat Chicago 4-3. Overtime winner for San Jose over the New York Islanders 5-4.
Hmm.
Buffalo Sabres fell to the Detroit Red Wings 5-3. Ottawa keeps surprising people with their 6-2 win over the Rangers. And
Wow.
another good overtime winner. The Kings rally from being down to come and win 4-3 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Drew Doughty scored 33 seconds into overtime.
Ooh, yeah.
They are tied with the Buffalo Sabres from 06-07 for the longest road winning streak to open the season.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Good for them.
So that'll be fun to watch over the next week to see see if the Kings can do it. I don't know what their next game is. Let me take a look at that. See if they have
Yeah. I'll follow
another.
them.
They do. December 7th, so Thursday, they'll be traveling to Montreal. We'll see if they can pass or see if they can beat the Habs and pass the Sabres. Take that,
Yeah.
because that's a big deal. They're 15-4-3. Like, they are starting off really
pretty
well
good.
this year.
Yeah.
The Kings are no
That's awesome.
joke.
As much as you wish they were.
Yeah, but we're kind of a joke right now, so it's fine.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough.
We're like
Well,
1-9 in our last 10 games.
God.
It's not good.
No, that's really
It's
not.
not
We gotta
good.
work on that, Chris.
It's so
We gotta
bad.
work on it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. If you want to ask us a question for next week's question of the week, please go ahead and drop it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe or follow or whatever the fucking verbiage is on whatever platform you're watching or listening to this on. You know what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah.
So just do it.
And then
Exactly.
hit that notification bell, let you know anytime we post stuff.
Which
Um,
is sometimes
it's frequent.
always.
It's frequent.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna have more content coming in
Well,
2024. So keep your
yeah,
eyes out.
absolutely. But thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully you'll see all three of us reunited, and it will feel so good next week when the band is back together. Don't forget that we're your favorite
Tell your
hockey
friends.
podcast.
And if
Tell
your
your
friends
friends.
don't like hockey, fucking force them to listen to it.
Tell Connor Bedard's mom. Tell Corey Perry's mom. Anyway, thank y'all so much. We will see you, mother puckers, in the face off circle next week.